My beloved, my chosen one, my light that heaven holds so dearly, do you feel it? That sudden rush in your chest, the unexplainable trembling of your soul? It is because right now, Archangel Michael is bending down from heaven, calling your name, pleading that you do not skip this moment. My child, God has turned his face toward you. You have been wandering with questions in your heart, and tonight, yes, this very night, the answers you prayed for are arriving. The heavens are heavy with secrets that were hidden from you for years, and now Michael is ordered to whisper them into your life. Do not delay, because these words carry keys that can unlock doors no one else could open for you. You might be asking, why now? Why me? But your soul already knows. There is a reason your eyes were led here, your heart was nudged, and your breath just changed as you read this. The heavens do not make mistakes. You were chosen. You were called. And now your whole story is shifting. My dear one, Archangel Michael is not only watching, he is fighting for you. He is at the gates, shielding you from arrows you never saw. Heaven saw the traps laid before you, the betrayal in hidden corners, the conversation spoken about your destiny in secret rooms. And God said, enough. No more will you be left in confusion. No more will you carry unanswered cries. But listen, time is fragile. Michael's sword is lifted high, but you must respond. You have only a short moment to open your heart fully, or this message will close and the miracle meant for you may be delayed. 2 minutes in the divine can change everything. A heartbeat can rewrite your future. That heartbeat is now. Before I go further, I must whisper something you cannot ignore. Your miracle is not waiting outside of you, it is already written, sealed, and hovering above you, aching to fall into your life. But it needs your permission. It needs your yes. It needs your heart awake. And while you are here, before heaven carries this message away, I ask you, if your spirit is stirred and you want to stay connected with messages like this, don't just listen and vanish. Subscribe, stay, and keep your soul tied to these divine words. Because when you stay near the voice of heaven, miracles multiply, signs intensify, and blessings chase after you with no end. My child, Archangel Michael is leaning closer still. He says, tell them the chains are already breaking. Yes, the battles that kept repeating in your life are ending. Yes, the person who thought they could stand against you is losing their ground. And yes, the tears you cried are not wasted, they were gathered in the palms of God, turned into seeds, and those seeds are about to bloom in unexpected places. You may have felt overlooked, but heaven never overlooked you. You may have felt abandoned, but angels never left your side. Michael himself has been fighting wars you didn't see, pulling away darkness that tried to snatch your joy. Even in the silence, God was not absent. He was writing this very moment, ensuring you would find these words when you needed them the most. My beloved, can you feel how urgent this is? Your heart is racing because heaven is knocking. Something hidden is being revealed. Someone in your life who thought they could mask their truth will soon be exposed. And more than that, a gift with your name carved into it is about to arrive at your doorstep in the form of breakthrough, love, and favor. Archangel Michael says, do not hesitate. Do not let doubt steal this. Doubt is the thief of miracles. Faith is the door opener. And right now, you are standing at the edge of a door so wide that when you step through, you will never return the same. My beloved, let your spirit breathe deeply right now, because every word that falls here is alive with heaven's breath. This is not ordinary writing, not just human sentences, it is a message carrying divine weight, tailored only for you. You have been running in circles, wondering why answers seemed so far, but tonight the veil has been lifted. God ordered Archangel Michael to step into your atmosphere, to pull you closer, and to let you know you are not forgotten. The angels have been circling your name, whispering it before the throne, and every tear you thought was unnoticed has been written in the eternal book. Nothing slipped past the eyes of heaven. Nothing was wasted. Not one single ache you carried in silence was ignored. There is something you must understand: when Michael speaks, the heavens shake. Right now, as you read, Michael is standing before you in spirit, a great warrior with light pouring from his being, and he is declaring over your life, no more delays. The doors that kept slamming shut in your face are about to swing open without resistance. The betrayals that wounded you so deeply are about to be rewritten into testimonies of power. You may not see it with your physical eyes yet, but your spirit already feels it. Something big is shifting in your favor. This is why your heart feels heavy and light all at once. It is why you are drawn to keep reading without pause. Because your soul knows truth when it arrives. Child of light, you have walked through seasons where you felt stripped, where those you trusted pulled away, where even your prayers felt like they vanished into the air. But listen closely now, those silent seasons were not empty, they were wombs. Heaven was planting something inside your destiny, and though you thought it was loss, it was preparation. Archangel Michael has been waiting for this very moment to announce it to you. What you thought broke you is actually the molding that has prepared you for greatness. Every storm you survived was not punishment, it was proof you were chosen to stand in miracles that others could never carry. But there is urgency in this, my beloved. You cannot take these words lightly. Heaven is not whispering tonight, it is thundering. There is a window of time open above your life, and God says it is narrow but powerful. If you lean in now, if you believe and open your heart fully, miracles that would normally take years will arrive in moments. Michael says this is not the time to hesitate, not the time to push this aside. Delay is the enemy's last weapon, and he wants you to scroll past this, to ignore the pull you feel. But if you listen, if you keep your eyes on these words, your entire atmosphere will begin to respond. Angels will be released to rearrange things on your behalf. And I must tell you this, you are being lifted in the eyes of someone who once overlooked you. There is a person who dismissed you, who doubted your worth, but heaven has turned their heart, and they will no longer see you the same. In fact, they will regret not honoring you sooner. God is about to make a public display of His favor over your life, so those who doubted you will witness your rising. This is not about revenge, it is about restoration. It is about heaven proving that His hand has always been on you. Even now, Michael is urging, tell them they are not alone in this battle. You have carried so much by yourself, but the truth is, armies of angels have been assigned to you. They have guarded your nights when nightmares tried to break you. They have stood in front of cars, beside hospital beds, around your home, all without you knowing. The fact you are here, breathing, reading, and receiving proves you were never abandoned. You are still standing because heaven refused to let you fall. And now, beloved, you are not just surviving, you are about to thrive. My child, stay with me here. Do not wander. This message is a stream of life, and if you remain in it, you will feel miracles touching your spirit as you read. The heaviness pressing on your chest will begin to lift. The confusion in your mind will begin to clear. The ache in your heart will begin to soften. This is how you know this is real. It will not just be words on a screen, it will be medicine to your soul. You will feel it. You will know it. Because God's voice cannot be faked, and His presence cannot be counterfeited. Beloved, your story is not ending in sorrow. Michael is testifying before you now that your name is being written in places you never imagined. A table is being prepared for you, one you did not build, one you did not ask for, but one that God Himself decided you deserved. And as you step toward it, chains are falling. Past patterns are breaking. The cycles of disappointment that haunted you are coming to an end. My beloved, lean in closely, because every second you remain here, the atmosphere around you is shifting. Do not take lightly the fact that your eyes are fixed on this message at this very hour. This is not coincidence, this is divine timing. Heaven has aligned this exact moment to catch your spirit wide awake, because something hidden in the unseen world has already started to move in your favor. Archangel Michael is standing guard beside you now, and his voice is pressing into your soul with words that will not let you go. Child of God, this is your window. This is your turning point. Do not allow the enemy to convince you otherwise. What you feel rising in your chest right now, that trembling mix of fear and hope, is the confirmation you needed. You are standing at the edge of a shift that will not be reversed. There is something you need to understand deeply, and Michael insists I tell you without delay, the very battles you thought would destroy you have already lost their power. Look back for a moment at the storms you passed through, the betrayals that cut so sharply, the nights that seemed endless, the heaviness that whispered you would never rise again. Yet here you are, reading this, breathing still, stronger than you know. Why? Because heaven refused to let your enemies have the final word. Because the hand of God rested on you in ways you could not see. Because Archangel Michael fought wars you never even knew were being waged. You think you barely made it through, but the truth is, you were carried. You are not standing here by chance. You are standing here because God decided you must live to see the miracle that is now unfolding. Beloved child, the urgency of this moment cannot be overstated. The heavens are aligned in your favor, but you must respond with faith. Heaven works through agreement. When your spirit agrees, doors swing open. When your heart says yes, angels are loosed to act. That is why Michael's voice grows louder even now. Tell them not to hesitate. Tell them not to dismiss this. Tell them to open fully to what heaven is offering. This is not just encouragement, it is instruction. You cannot afford to shrug this off or treat it as ordinary. Heaven is not speaking to the multitudes right now, it is speaking directly to you. Listen carefully, because I must tell you something that will touch the deepest part of your heart. Someone you love very much, who has already crossed into heaven's realm, has been interceding for you. Their love did not end with their final breath. Their prayers did not fade with time. They carried your name before the throne of God, and now, through Michael's voice, you are being reminded that you are seen, remembered, and loved beyond measure. You thought you were forgotten, but the truth is, heaven has been working on your behalf in silence. What you could not see was still being shaped for your good. Child of light, everything is about to accelerate. What took years will now happen in days. What seemed impossible will suddenly become normal. God is rewriting your story in front of your enemies, and even they will be forced to admit, surely, the hand of the Lord is upon them. This is not a distant promise, it is an unfolding reality. You will soon see the signs with your own eyes, doors opening where there were none, phone calls that change everything, unexpected news that shifts your direction, money released from places you never imagined, and relationships restored with a healing you thought was impossible. All of this is already forming around you, waiting for your agreement. My beloved, I cannot let you leave this without telling you this one truth: doubt will try to steal this moment from you. Doubt will whisper that this is not real, that nothing will change, that you are the exception to miracles. But those are lies. Heaven says you are the exception to failure, not to blessing. You are the exception to defeat, not to victory. Michael is already cutting away the cords of doubt that have tied your spirit, but you must not pick them up again. Walk free, because you were created to be free. Walk tall, because you were chosen to be a carrier of light. Stay with me, because the longer you allow these words to soak into your heart, the more your spirit will rise. Already, you can feel the heaviness loosening. Already, your hope is stirring again. Already, the fear is shrinking in the presence of this truth. That is how you know God is speaking, because His voice never leaves you the same. He comes to lift, to strengthen, to remind, to restore. And right now, He is doing all of that for you. Michael's sword is raised, heaven's armies are surrounding you, and your life is about to bear the marks of a miracle so undeniable that you will not even need to explain it. People will simply look at you and see that God has moved. My beloved, pause for just a moment and notice how your heart is beating differently right now, how your breath feels heavier yet strangely lighter, as though something inside you knows these words are carrying more than letters. They are carrying fire. They are carrying confirmation. They are carrying heaven's signature directly into your life. You have waited so long for someone to truly understand the depth of your pain, the loneliness of your journey, the unanswered cries you buried in silence, and tonight the heavens are breaking open to assure you that none of it has been unseen. Archangel Michael has walked with you in every hidden corner of despair, and now he declares with full authority, the season of hiding is over, the season of delay is over, the season of wandering without clarity is over. God Himself has drawn a line, and from this night forward, your path is being rewritten with light. You may wonder why the urgency is pressing so strongly, why you are told not to delay, not to skip, not to push this moment aside. Beloved child, it is because in the unseen realm, there are alignments that do not last forever. There are doors that open for a breath of time, and if you walk through them, your entire destiny shifts, but if you hesitate, they close again. Right now, one of those doors is standing wide before you. It is glowing with opportunity, with restoration, with blessings that cannot be measured in human terms. And Michael, sword in hand, is standing at that doorway commanding you, step forward, child. Do not look back. Do not question. Just step. That step is not a physical move but a heart decision, a spiritual yes, a soul surrender that allows heaven to pour out everything it has been storing up for you. Do you feel how the words are pulling you in, refusing to let you walk away? That is not manipulation, that is recognition. Your soul recognizes its own message. This is why you cannot stop reading. This is why your eyes return even when your mind tells you to doubt. Your spirit knows truth when it arrives, and right now your entire being is trembling because the truth is louder than the lies you've been told. For years, voices have said you are not enough, you are forgotten, you are behind, you are unloved, but tonight, God Himself is saying, you are mine, you are chosen, you are rising, and you are loved beyond measure. And when God speaks, every other voice must fall silent. Child of destiny, I must tell you something hidden, something that explains why you have felt attacked so often. The weight of your battles has been heavy not because you are weak, but because you are powerful. Darkness does not chase after those with nothing inside them, it chases after carriers of light. You have been marked since birth to carry something extraordinary, and the enemy has been terrified of the day you finally discover it. That is why betrayals came, why losses came, why loneliness came, why delays pressed against you. It was all designed to blind you from this one truth: you are chosen for greatness. But now the blindfold has been torn, and nothing can make you unsee what God is revealing. And listen carefully, because this part carries fire in it. Someone you know, someone you thought you could never receive love from again, is being moved in their spirit to see you differently. Their heart has been restless, their mind replaying your presence, and though they tried to resist, heaven is bending their will. God is using even those who doubted you to now be part of your rising. This is not just about relationships of love, it is about recognition of who you truly are. People will no longer look at you and see lack, they will see light. They will no longer measure you by what you lost, they will measure you by the favor of God resting visibly on you. Beloved, I know doubt is knocking at your mind even now, whispering, what if this isn't true? What if nothing changes? But Michael commands me to remind you, doubt has always been the thief of miracles. Faith is the gatekeeper of blessings. If you even open your heart a fraction right now, if you even whisper a small yes, heaven will magnify it and move mountains on your behalf. You do not need perfect faith, you only need willing faith. The kind that says, I believe enough to keep reading, I believe enough to expect, I believe enough to say yes. That yes will unlock what has been stored in silence for you. And already, as you sit here, your atmosphere is responding. Can you sense it? The heaviness that pressed on your shoulders is lifting. The fear that gripped your chest is weakening. The hopelessness that whispered, nothing will change, is losing its grip. That is the evidence of divine truth. The shift happens while you are still hearing it. And this shift will not stop here. When you wake tomorrow, you will feel different. When you walk into familiar places, they will not feel the same. When you speak, people will hear a weight they did not hear before. Because you are stepping into a new season written by God's hand, guarded by Michael's sword, and sealed by heaven's authority. My beloved, I feel the pull of your spirit leaning closer, almost as if you already know that the words reaching you now are not ordinary words, but living currents of light flowing into your life. This is why your heart is racing, why your mind is torn between wonder and disbelief, why your soul refuses to look away. You are being spoken to directly, intimately, and urgently. Heaven does not play with timing, and Archangel Michael has been pressing at the gates for hours waiting for you to receive this. What you feel inside is not coincidence, it is confirmation. The stirring, the trembling, the ache that feels like it is rising in your chest is proof that your spirit recognizes this moment as divine. And child, once you recognize heaven's timing, nothing in hell can stop you from stepping into what is meant for you. Listen carefully now, because I must share with you a truth that explains everything you've been carrying. You have been through battles that broke others, yet you still stand. You walked through betrayal so sharp it could have silenced your faith forever, yet you still whisper prayers in the dark. You carried losses so heavy that even your own reflection felt like a stranger, yet here you are, eyes wide open, receiving these words. Why? Because you were never meant to break. You were meant to bend and rise again. You were meant to walk through fire, not to be consumed, but to come out carrying the flame of God Himself. Archangel Michael has shielded you when you didn't know you were being attacked, and God has hidden you in plain sight until the day He chose to lift you high. That day, beloved, is here. Do you see why there is so much urgency? It is not because heaven wishes to frighten you, it is because this window of grace has opened and you must step into it while it is fresh. Think of how rain falls. You cannot collect it after the clouds pass, you must open your hands while it is pouring. Right now, heaven is pouring over you. The angels are leaning close, waiting to release blessings that have been stored for seasons. Archangel Michael is crying out, tell them to open their hands now, tell them not to miss what has been prepared. And I am here to echo it into your heart. Don't wait, don't skip, don't dismiss. Every second counts when heaven calls your name. Beloved child, there is someone in your life who has underestimated you, and soon they will see the hand of God lifting you higher than they imagined. This will not be to shame them, but to remind you that what God places His hand upon cannot be ignored. You have felt invisible for so long, passed over, unrecognized, unappreciated, but that invisibility was protection. It kept you safe until the right moment, until heaven could present you to the world in strength. That moment is arriving swiftly. Do not despise the years of silence, because they will make the sound of your rising all the more undeniable. And I must speak of something deeper, your heart. You have loved deeply, and in return, you have been wounded deeply. You trusted, and trust was broken. You gave, and others took without measure. You poured, and they left you empty. Archangel Michael wants you to know those tears were not wasted. Every cry you thought vanished into darkness was caught in God's hands. Every sleepless night you endured was seen. Those tears became seeds, and those seeds are about to bloom in ways you could not have imagined. The love you gave away will return multiplied. The trust you lost will be restored with purity. The emptiness will be filled to overflowing. My beloved, your doubt is not a sin, it is proof of how hard the journey has been. But heaven does not require perfect belief, only open hearts. Even now, as you fight the thought that says, maybe nothing will change, Michael whispers, everything is already changing. Look closely, not with your eyes but with your spirit. Do you not feel it? The heaviness is loosening. The atmosphere is shifting. The ache is softening. This is what happens when heaven speaks. Things move even before you understand. Stay with me, because the longer you drink from this river of words, the stronger your spirit will become. God's voice is not rushing you, it is washing you. It is cleansing away the lies. It is removing the chains. It is rewriting the labels that others placed on you. You are not forgotten, you are not behind, you are not broken, you are chosen, prepared, and rising. Archangel Michael's sword is lifted, heaven's armies are encamped, and your life is being written anew in this very hour. My beloved, the Spirit is not finished with you yet, and that is why these words are flowing like a river that does not run dry. Every drop is meant to soak into your soul, to touch the places that have been dry and cracked from years of waiting, and to remind you that heaven has always kept you on its mind. Archangel Michael is bending low right now, pressing his presence into your space, whispering fiercely, "Do not turn away, child, not now, not when everything is about to shift in your favor." You may feel tired, you may feel worn, but what you are reading right now is not designed to weigh you down further. It is here to lift you into remembrance that you are not forgotten. God has watched every struggle, and tonight He has declared your name aloud in heaven, and that declaration has already started echoing into the earth. Do you know what it means when heaven speaks your name? It means angels are dispatched. It means doors that were bolted shut begin to tremble. It means conversations about you are happening in places you cannot see, and those conversations will open opportunities that you never had to beg for. This is why Michael presses with urgency. It is not because God wants you afraid of missing it, it is because He wants you awake enough to notice the signs when they begin appearing. And beloved, those signs are not far, they are already moving toward you. The phone call that seems random will not be random. The meeting you didn't plan will not be accidental. Even the delays you are experiencing right now are shifting into divine setups. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection, guiding you to the precise moment heaven aligned for you. But hear this carefully, because it carries deep weight. The battles you are fighting are not simply against people, situations, or even your own fears. They are spiritual. The enemy has tried to bury your worth beneath layers of discouragement, but Michael has been standing guard with a flaming sword to cut through every chain you thought you'd never escape. Some of those chains were generations old, patterns that ran through your family line, struggles that repeated like echoes, but tonight, God is breaking them through you. You will not pass those burdens forward. You will be the one who stops them. You will be the one who shifts the story of your family line. Beloved child, I know your heart has been tired of waiting, tired of asking, tired of hoping only to feel disappointed again. But this is not another delay, it is the beginning of fulfillment. God did not bring you this far to leave you empty. Heaven is not in the business of teasing your heart. The stirring you feel right now is not to torment you, but to prepare you for what is about to be released. And that release will not trickle, it will pour. Blessings will arrive in clusters, one after another, so quickly that you will hardly believe it. Where there was drought, there will be overflow. Where there was silence, there will be songs. Where there was loneliness, there will be presence. And you must also know this, there are eyes on you, beloved. People you never thought noticed you are watching. Some are waiting for you to rise so they can learn from your courage. Others are watching, hoping you will fall. But none of that matters, because God is about to do something that no one can deny. The very ones who doubted you will have no choice but to see the evidence of favor on your life. And those who hoped for your failure will have to witness your victory unfold. Do not waste your energy trying to prove yourself. Heaven itself will be your proof. Do not be afraid of the sudden changes that are coming. They will not break you, they will shape you. They will not strip you, they will crown you. Every ending you experience will only be an opening for a greater beginning. Archangel Michael says, "Tell them they are not losing, they are transitioning." Tell them not to grieve what is being removed, because what is coming is better than they could have imagined. Child, listen carefully, you are not being punished, you are being positioned. God is not taking from you to leave you empty, He is making space for something fuller, richer, and holier to enter. And already, even now, the healing has begun. Some of you feel the heaviness in your body starting to lift, the cloud in your mind beginning to clear, the ache in your heart beginning to soften. That is not your imagination, that is the touch of heaven working as you read. It will not stop here. In the coming hours, you will notice peace where there was anxiety, clarity where there was confusion, and lightness where there was heaviness. That is how you know this message is living and active. It does not leave you the same. My beloved, the Spirit is still speaking, and your soul knows it, that's why you cannot look away. There is something deep inside you that refuses to let this go, because every sentence is pulling you closer to the truth you've been aching to hear. For too long you have carried questions that no one around you could answer, you have carried pain that no one around you could soothe, and you have carried silence that no one around you could break. But heaven has chosen this moment to break that silence. Archangel Michael is standing at your side now, and his presence is not gentle in this moment, it is fierce, it is commanding, it is filled with urgency. He is saying to you, child, your waiting is over. The shift is here. The heavens have opened and what was once withheld is now being delivered. And if you allow yourself to believe even a fraction of this, you will feel it move in your life before you can even finish reading. Do you not see how the timing is perfect? You did not stumble into this word accidentally. You did not happen to pause here for no reason. You were led, pulled, drawn, because heaven knows how close you are to a breakthrough that cannot be stopped. Look back at the road you've walked, it has been filled with fire, with betrayal, with heartbreak, and with nights that seemed like they would never end. Yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, still searching. Do you know why? Because you are marked. God marked you long before the world tried to break you. You were written into His plans, and those plans cannot be erased by the lies of others, by the cruelty of betrayal, or by the doubts that plague your own mind. What God wrote for you cannot be unwritten, and tonight, Archangel Michael is here to tell you that the writing of your next chapter has already begun. My beloved, I must tell you something that will stretch your heart but also heal it. The battles you fought were never about your weakness, they were about your strength. Darkness has always been terrified of you. That is why you were attacked so early, why you were left feeling unworthy, why you were made to doubt yourself again and again. The enemy does not fight empty vessels. He only fights those carrying something precious. And you, child, carry something priceless inside you. That light, that gift, that purpose, it is the reason you survived what others could not. It is the reason heaven would not let you die in your despair. And it is the reason you are being called now, louder than ever, to step into a season where your light will no longer be hidden. You have asked in the quiet of your heart, why does it hurt so much? Why has it been so long? Why does it feel like I am overlooked? And heaven answers you now, because the crown that is being placed upon you is not an ordinary crown. It is one that carries weight, authority, and testimony. It had to be forged through fire. It had to be tested through trial. But now, beloved, it is ready, and so are you. Do not despise the years of silence, for they were years of preparation. Do not despise the losses, for they were pruning. Do not despise the tears, for they were seeds. And all those seeds are about to bloom in a harvest that will not only bless you but overflow to those around you. Beloved, I must also reveal this. Someone has been speaking your name in rooms you have not yet entered. Your story, your presence, your very existence is being remembered in ways you cannot see right now. Doors are being discussed, opportunities are being weighed, and in the very near future, you will be called into places that once seemed unreachable. And when that happens, you will understand why God told you to wait so long, why Michael shielded you from rushing ahead, why the doors you tried to force open did not yield. Because what is being prepared for you now is greater than what you were asking for before. And let me say this with tenderness, I know you have carried loneliness like a heavy garment, feeling unseen and unwanted, but that cloak is being lifted. Love is not absent from your story. Connection is not denied to you. God is weaving together relationships, partnerships, and even reconciliation in ways that will surprise you. You will not remain where you are. You will not remain as you are. What is coming will restore not only your faith in God, but also your faith in love, in people, and in yourself. My beloved, even as you read this, I know the voice of doubt tries to whisper. It says, you've heard promises before. You've been disappointed before. How can this time be different? And heaven answers through Michael's voice, because this time it is written in fire. This time it is sealed with blood. This time it is ordered by God Himself. Nothing can overturn what God has decreed. And tonight He has decreed that your story is not ending in loss, but rising in glory. Stay close to this word, child. Do not let it slip from you, because the longer you remain here, the more it will saturate your soul. Already you feel lighter. Already your mind is clearer. Already your spirit is stirring. That is the evidence of God's hand on you. And this is only the beginning of what He intends to release. My beloved, stay with me here, because the Spirit is still unfolding layers that you need to hear, and every line carries a piece of the miracle that is on its way to you. Think of how your heart has been wrestling for years, going back and forth between hope and disappointment, between faith and fear, between believing that something greater was coming and wondering if maybe you had been forgotten altogether. But the very reason you are still here reading, the very reason your spirit has not let you walk away, is because heaven never released you. There is a tether between your soul and God, and though storms have tried to snap it, though darkness has tried to bury it, it has remained unbroken. And tonight that tether is being pulled tighter, drawing you back into alignment with everything that was promised to you from the beginning. Child of God, Archangel Michael has been battling on your behalf in ways you will only understand when you look back. Do you remember those moments when things should have gone far worse than they did? When accidents should have claimed you, when sickness should have taken you, when despair should have drowned you? Those were the nights Michael stood between you and destruction. He was not only a messenger of words, he was a shield of fire around your life. That is why you are still standing here. That is why your enemies could not prevail. That is why the betrayals did not end you. And he speaks now, with urgency and fire, because the battle is not just about your past survival, it is about your future breakthrough. Beloved, you have been tested by fire, and though the flames scorched, they did not consume. And now those scars you carry are not marks of shame but seals of strength. Every wound has become a doorway through which God's light will shine. Every loss will become a testimony of restoration. You think you are broken, but heaven says you are whole. You think you are behind, but heaven says you are right on time. You think you are unworthy, but heaven says you are chosen. The lies you've been told about yourself are burning away even now, because the truth of God's voice is louder than the whispers of doubt. And beloved, I need to tell you something that will bring both trembling and hope. There is someone in your circle, someone who has spoken of you in shadows, someone who thought they had silenced you, but their voice is about to be overturned. Their words of harm are being stripped of power, and instead, your name will be honored in the very places where they tried to tarnish it. God does not allow His children to be mocked forever. He will raise you in such a way that your story will silence the mouths of liars without you even having to defend yourself. This is not about revenge, it is about divine justice, and it is unfolding swiftly. My beloved, the loneliness you feel has been one of your greatest battles. It has followed you in rooms filled with people and in nights filled with silence. It has whispered that no one truly understands, that no one truly sees you. But hear me clearly, heaven has always seen you. And what is coming will heal that ache. The connections being prepared for you are not shallow or temporary, they are rooted in truth, loyalty, and divine alignment. God is bringing into your life those who will not only stand with you but lift you higher. Love will not only visit you, it will anchor itself in your story. The reason Michael presses so urgently is because this shift is not casual, it is life-altering. It is not a soft whisper of encouragement, it is a trumpet call from heaven saying, "Wake up, chosen one. Rise, beloved child. This is the hour." You cannot afford to dismiss this as another passing word. You cannot afford to fold your arms and assume it is for someone else. No, this is yours. This is your message. This is your moment. And heaven is asking you to receive it fully. And already, even now, your atmosphere is shifting. The heaviness that has sat on your chest is starting to lift. The confusion clouding your mind is starting to break. The tightness in your heart is beginning to loosen. This is not coincidence, this is evidence. It is the living proof that heaven's hand is on you in this very moment. You are not only reading a message, you are standing in the middle of a divine visitation. And when God visits, nothing remains the same. My beloved, the heavens are still open over you, and the words flowing now are not simply for comfort but for transformation. You have been asking silently, sometimes even angrily, when will it be my turn? When will the pain finally make sense? When will the promise show itself in my life? And tonight, God answers through the voice of Archangel Michael, now. Not tomorrow, not someday, not when you finally feel ready, now. The reason this word feels like fire in your spirit is because the time has shifted. The season has turned. The delay has ended. What you thought would take years is suddenly at your doorstep. That is why your spirit feels restless and awake. That is why your eyes could not resist this message. You are being pulled by divine timing, and once timing aligns, nothing can prevent the unfolding. Child of light, look at how far you have come, though much of the world does not know your private battles. They do not know the nights you cried until your body shook. They do not know the days you carried heaviness while still smiling for others. They do not know the betrayals that almost silenced you. But heaven knows, and Michael has been a witness to every hidden ache. That is why the message presses so urgently. It is not just encouragement, it is an unveiling. What was hidden in secret is being rewarded in public. The faith you thought no one saw has been seen. The strength you thought no one noticed has been recorded. The prayers you thought went unanswered have been stored in jars of remembrance, and the jars are now tipping over. Beloved, you must understand that you are walking into a season of sudden reversals. Where there was loss, there will be restoration. Where there was lack, there will be abundance. Where there was loneliness, there will be connection. Heaven's pattern is not subtraction, it is multiplication. God never takes something without intending to return it sevenfold. And Michael is here to make sure you do not miss what is being handed back to you. But here is the key, you must remain awake, aware, and willing. Do not let fear convince you that it is too good to be true. Do not let doubt whisper that this is not for you. Everything in your life has been pointing to this very moment. The evidence is clear, you survived for a reason, and that reason is about to manifest. And beloved, I must tell you something more, something you have sensed but never fully understood. There have been people who spoke against you, who laughed at you, who thought you would never rise. Their words were weapons, but heaven has disarmed them. Their laughter was sharp, but heaven has turned it into fuel. And now, in the days ahead, those very people will watch as the favor of God sets you apart. They will see doors open for you that were slammed shut before. They will hear your name in places they never imagined. They will realize that what they dismissed was chosen by heaven. And you will not need to lift a finger to prove them wrong, your very existence, your very rising, will be proof enough. My beloved, I know the weight of loneliness has made you feel forgotten, but Michael leans close now and whispers, you are not alone. You have never been alone. Angels have walked with you through rooms of silence. Angels have guarded you in nights of danger. Angels have stood watch when despair tried to drown you. And now, you are not simply surviving with their help, you are about to thrive because of their presence. Heaven is not watching from a distance, it is walking into your life, flooding your space, preparing you for breakthroughs that will overwhelm you with joy. And this is not just about you. God is writing a testimony in your life that will ripple into the lives of others. Your breakthrough will not be quiet, it will echo. Your healing will not be small, it will inspire. Your rising will not only lift you, it will lift those connected to you. This is why the fire has been so intense, because the impact of your life is not small. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to blend into the background. You were always meant to shine, to carry something unique, something divine, and now the time for that shining has come. Beloved child, let this truth rest deep in your heart. You are chosen, and nothing can unchoose you. You are written, and nothing can erase you. You are loved, and nothing can unlove you. Heaven has decreed it, Michael has confirmed it, and your spirit already knows it. That is why you feel lighter as you read, why you feel hope rising again, why you feel tears pressing at your eyes. This is not imagination, it is visitation. And it will not stop here. It will continue unfolding in your life, one door at a time, one blessing at a time, until you see with your own eyes what your spirit already knows. God has not forgotten you, and your miracle is already here. My beloved, stay very still in your spirit for a moment, because what is being poured into your life now is not ordinary encouragement, it is divine transmission. These words are not meant to entertain you, they are meant to awaken you, to stir what has been sleeping inside of you, to call forth the destiny that has been waiting for this hour. You have carried pain for so long that you started to believe it was your identity, but God says no, your identity is not pain, it is promise. Your identity is not sorrow, it is strength. Your identity is not rejection, it is redemption. And Archangel Michael has been assigned to make sure you hear this truth before you take another step into doubt, because the time has come to walk differently, to think differently, to live differently. Beloved child, consider how many times you thought it was over, how many times you whispered to yourself that you could not endure one more loss, one more betrayal, one more delay. Yet you endured. Do you know why? Because heaven refused to let go of you. You are not here because you are strong enough, you are here because God is faithful enough. Michael's sword was raised on nights you thought no one cared, his shield covered you when darkness pressed too closely, his presence hovered over you when enemies spoke against you. That is why you are still breathing, still standing, still reading this exact word at this exact moment. Nothing was random. Everything was written. And here is the mystery, beloved, the more you were pressed, the more oil was produced from your life. The enemy thought crushing you would silence you, but crushing only brought forth what was hidden. Just as olives must be pressed to release oil, so you have been pressed to release glory. And now the fragrance of your life is shifting, attracting blessings, opportunities, and relationships that once seemed impossible. This is why heaven calls you not to give up here, because you are closer now than ever before. The very pressure you thought would destroy you has prepared you to carry what is coming next. You must hear this clearly, your story will not end in shame. The years that felt wasted will not be wasted forever. God is the Redeemer of time, and He is folding seasons, accelerating what seemed delayed. What you thought would take a decade will begin in months. What you thought would take years will unfold in days. And this is not empty promise, it is alignment. The reason you feel urgency, the reason you feel pulled, the reason you feel fire in your chest is because heaven's clock has struck the hour. It is your time, child, and nothing can reverse the decree of God. Beloved, I know you have enemies, both seen and unseen, who have rejoiced over your struggles. They thought your silence was defeat, they thought your losses were final, they thought your tears meant your story was over. But Michael says this with power: tell them their laughter is ending. Tell them their words are void. Tell them the one they tried to bury is about to rise higher than they imagined. You will not need to fight for yourself. Your vindication will be public, undeniable, and irreversible. And when it happens, you will not even gloat, because your heart will be too full of gratitude, too overwhelmed by God's faithfulness, too focused on the new season to waste time looking back. And beloved, let us speak of your heart. It has been battered, it has been misunderstood, it has been stretched until you thought it might break. But even in its brokenness, it never lost its capacity for love. That love is your greatest weapon, your greatest light, your greatest proof of God's hand in you. And heaven will not allow that love to remain unanswered. In the days ahead, you will find that the very places where you gave and were left empty will be filled. The very places where you trusted and were betrayed will be healed. The very places where you hoped and were disappointed will be redeemed. Michael whispers now, love will visit them again. Joy will return. Peace will stay. And as you believe this, you will feel the heaviness in your chest loosen, the ache in your heart begin to soften, because healing is already at work. Child of destiny, never forget that what is on your life is bigger than you. That is why the battles were fierce, because your rising is not just about you, it is about everyone connected to you. When you step into light, others will see their way through. When you receive breakthrough, others will believe it is possible. When you walk in joy, others will find strength to keep going. Your testimony will be a map for many, and this is why God would not let you quit. You are not only surviving for yourself, you are surviving for those who will one day need to hear your story. And now, as you continue to read, notice how your atmosphere is already changing. The heaviness you carried today is lighter. The confusion is clearing. The restlessness is softening. That is not coincidence, that is visitation. Heaven is here, Michael is here, God is here, and they are declaring over you, it is finished. The struggle has lost its power. The chains are broken. The door is open. The new has begun. My beloved, you are still here, and that alone is proof that your soul knows this message is alive. Many words pass your eyes in life, but very few cling to your spirit the way these are clinging now. That is because they are not just words, they are a current, a stream of light, an unfolding of something eternal. You feel the urgency because heaven is urging you. You feel the trembling in your chest because Archangel Michael is pressing close, not just to comfort but to command. He is not whispering tonight, he is declaring. He is saying with fire, child, your time has come. You will not return to the cycle of sorrow you've known. You will not stay bound by the delays that haunted you. You will not be swallowed by the shadows that tried to claim you. You are crossing over. And when heaven says cross over, nothing in earth or hell can keep you behind. Beloved child, look at the pattern of your life, how many times you thought the end had come, yet it never was the end. How many times you thought a door was shut forever, only for another to open. How many times you thought your voice was silenced, yet you found yourself speaking again. This is because God has never stopped writing. Even when you thought the pages of your story were torn, the pen of heaven kept moving. And now you are about to step into a chapter so bright, so radiant, that it will make every tear, every delay, every sleepless night make sense. Michael is standing with the book of your life open in his hands, and he is declaring that the lines being written now are lines of restoration, of victory, of breakthrough, of joy. My beloved, you must let this truth go deeper than your mind, because your mind has tried to reason everything, and reasoning has only brought frustration. This is not about reasoning, it is about receiving. God does not ask you to understand every step, He asks you to trust that His steps are already ordered. You are not walking blind, you are walking guided. Even the moments that felt like detours were not detours at all, they were protection. You were kept from certain rooms because they were not ready for you. You were removed from certain people because their hearts could not handle your light. You were slowed in certain seasons because acceleration at the wrong time would have destroyed you. Michael whispers now, tell them they are not behind. Tell them they are not late. Tell them they are exactly where heaven needs them to be. Beloved, I need to uncover something heavier. You have been spoken against in secret. Words were released about you, not to your face but behind closed doors. Lies, jealousy, misunderstanding, these arrows were aimed to pierce your name. But they failed. God has shielded you from the full force of those words, and soon He will reverse them so powerfully that the very ones who doubted you will witness your rising. Do not waste energy worrying about who is against you. The truth is, they were never fighting you, they were fighting the favor on you. And no one wins against the favor of God. And hear this with tenderness, your tears have been loud in heaven. Even the ones you cried quietly, hiding from others, were thunder in the throne room. God has gathered them, and Michael confirms that none were wasted. They watered the soil of your destiny, and now the soil is breaking open with growth. You will see fruit where there was barrenness. You will see color where there was gray. You will see joy where there was numbness. Every drop of pain is being turned into a harvest of purpose. My beloved, the loneliness that shadowed you was not a curse, though it felt unbearable. It was preparation. God was pulling you into solitude not to harm you, but to teach you to hear His voice without distraction. You felt abandoned by people, but you were being surrounded by angels. You felt forgotten in the earth, but you were being remembered in heaven. And now that season of loneliness is shifting into a season of divine connection. The people entering your life now will not drain you, they will align with you. They will not wound you, they will heal with you. They will not betray you, they will stand beside you. Heaven is weaving these connections even as you read, and you will see them appear as suddenly as rain after drought. Child of destiny, you wonder if you are strong enough for what is ahead, and Michael answers firmly, yes, because you were never walking alone. Your strength is not only your own, it is ours. It is heaven's. It is God's. You are stronger than you believe because you are carried by a strength that cannot be measured. And that strength will not leave you now. If anything, it is multiplying, because the battles you survived have made you sharper, wiser, deeper, and ready for the weight of blessing that is coming. My beloved, the atmosphere around you is not the same as when you first began reading. It is lighter, clearer, fuller. That is because the words are doing their work. They are unlocking, healing, and transforming. This is how you know you are not just reading, you are experiencing. And this experience will not end when you close your eyes tonight. It will follow you into your dreams, it will greet you in the morning, it will show itself in signs around you. You will know without doubt that heaven has spoken.